over how to get a flat tummy after pregnancy. This is a huge question. It's very popular on my blog, a couple of the articles I've written about it, and it's because most of us moms have a lot of issues with our tummies not going completely flat or back to normal after having children, which is not so fun, but there are a couple things that you can do that will help your tummy go back to normal in terms of everything, the uterus and the muscles kind of start contracting and coming back in. But there's also going to be a layer of fat loss that needs to happen. So if there's extra fat on your belly, then even if your stomach muscles go back, then you are going to still have a kind of that extra pooch on there because of fat. The one that is the most difficult to deal with is going to be extra skin that would be on your belly because of all the stretching that happens, and then when everything comes back in, there's just that extra loose skin because it doesn't tighten back up. That is the one thing that you can't really do a whole lot about, especially if you had some large babies, so your skin really had to stretch a lot. If you had babies in a short amount of time, then that's going to be a factor as well. And so I highly recommend not even focusing on the skin, but eating as healthy as you can, and then doing some ab workouts and things that are going to help bring those muscles back into action and help connect your mind to the muscles again, because what happens is they stretch out to accommodate for the baby and they start coming back together, but they need help to come back together, and they need you to kind of reconnect your mind, because in pregnancy then you lose all of that standard kind of posture and really being able to pull your abs in because they're being pushed out. So you lose that mind and muscle connection that we have to reestablish, and your muscles just need more care after you have babies. So I have a full ab rehab program where we do a lot of Pilates, a lot of pelvic tilts, a lot of laying on your back and pulling your abs in. That is something that I highly recommend, though I know that it is really difficult as a new mom to even set aside 5 minutes to lay on the floor and start doing some exercises. So I'm going to go over posture in a little bit, because your posture and the way that you hold your baby is going to be one of the biggest things that you can do in order to really help your ab muscles come back together and to kind of stack everything back up right. The wonderful thing about working on your posture is you also are going to be able to realign your pelvic floor, which a lot of those issues that come about aren't necessarily pelvic floor strength and contractions, but it is your alignment and being so out of alignment and out of whack and holding a baby and slouching and trying to pull your tummy in, and then you're tucking your bottom in, and which you actually don't want to do. And so a lot of that comes and that is what really makes some pelvic floor dysfunction after having a baby, besides the muscle issues that happen as well. So posture is one thing that I'm going to go over here in a bit. The other thing is your diet. So diet is 80% of fat loss. That is going to be what is really going to help you get rid of the fat that is covering your stomach and making your stomach look poochier than it may be at all. So diet is huge. Eating clean, getting rid of processed foods. I have a lot of free challenges on my blog, The Postpartum Cure, where I really try to encourage you to clean up your diet and focus on fruits and vegetables and lean proteins. And it may sound boring. It may sound like, oh, I don't want to do that, or I can't do that very long, but it's really important. You need to nourish your body after having a baby. Your nutrients are depleted after having a baby. You need nutrients for breastfeeding, and food is for nourishment. It's not for pleasure, it's not for entertainment. It is to nourish your body so your body can function, it can feel good, you have energy, and it's a higher purpose than just kind of filling those taste bud needs and those cravings and all that. So I have free challenges that do that, that help you, encourage you to do that. I also have my app with a full program, and so I highly recommend getting yourself on a clean eating plan and cleaning up your diet. Getting rid of some of the processed sugars and the carbs and those chemicals are going to flatten your belly as well. Also getting rid of foods that could irritate your belly and cause bloating and gas and all that is important. So nourishing your body should be your highest priority after having a baby, especially if you're breastfeeding. So from there, then we want to start working on your posture and how you're holding baby. A lot of moms, especially after pregnancy, and I do this as well, because my babies are, they're not really babies anymore. The youngest one is 2 and they're heavy. So I really like to, rather than use my arms and pull them up, it's easier for me to just rest them on my belly. So I'm going to switch over and I'll stand up and I'll show you some posture tricks that you can do, which you have to just practice every day and remind yourself. And I'll also show you my wrap that I use, which helps me to remember how to carry myself. And you can use this at any point postpartum, because it's going to pull your abs in, pull your ribs up, pull your chin back, and really help you align. So let me stand up and switch over to that. So what you want to do when you're holding your baby is you want to pull in here and pull up here, and then not tuck under, because that's pushing everything out of alignment and it's just using your glutes to push your abs in. But you want to actually pull your abs in from here. Okay, so that is super important. And then when you're holding one, here comes one now. Hey Dave. So when you pick up your baby, whether they're a big child or a baby, you want to kind of squat down so you can pull your abs in and use your legs to get them up. So when I lift up Benjamin, I have to lift him up this way. Then I have to lean forward a bit. I'm sorry, baby. So if I lean forward this way, then I can pull my abs in. Okay.
Tell me that!
And you want to try to put the weight into your arms.
Okay,
If that makes sense, rather than going like this. You can see that. So this is the easy way to hold them. You kind of stick them on here. But if you lean over this way and pull in, and then you use your arms to pull your child up. That's so holding your child and picking them up properly is going to be something that you can do every day. You don't need to sign up for a program. You don't need to do anything special except modify your movements day in and day out. A little posture trick that I go over in my program and ways you can do things is pull your chin in, because we start going like this. And that's just not going to help posture at all. So if you stand up straight, roll your shoulders back, lift up, pull in here, do not tuck. That's not going to help your pelvic floor. Leave your spine in neutral position. So that's just where you're leaving here, and you're using just your abs. You're not tucking under, because then you're pushing with your glutes. This is all about ab control, pulling your chin in, and then practicing kind of just doing that every day. Even if you wake up in the morning and practice your posture, and if you do that every morning for 5 minutes, try to remind yourself throughout the day, try to remind yourself how to pick up your child. Those little things are going to help flatten your belly after baby, rather than a whole lot of exercise and work and things like that. From there, if you're still having trouble or you can't remember, it is really beneficial to commit some time to doing a program and doing some Pilates and pelvic tilts and strengthening the area around here that helps support your abs, and learning to breathe and pull in and lift your chest and hold everything tight underneath. Those practices really become standard movements the more that you do them. So the more comfortable you get with holding your abs in, and the stronger they get, and the more it becomes second nature, which is going to pull your belly in and help flatten it after baby. Combine that with diet, then you're going to have a flat tummy after pregnancy if you do that properly, and then you'll just have that extra skin. And that I don't consider as part of a pooch so much, or anything that you can do a whole lot about, unless you do some surgery to remove that extra skin, which is up to you. So I hope that helps. The other thing that you could do to help your posture, which is what I really like, because I am so busy with 3 boys and running after them and trying to make sure that I am, just surviving as a mom, having a wrap like this really helps with posture reminders, basically. So my uterus is not contracting anymore. I am 2 years postpartum, so I'm not trying to support my uterus and pulling back in. It's done as much as I can. But what I am doing is I'm reminding myself to pull my abs in, because I'll feel that pressure. And then I'm also reminding myself to stand up taller and move around the day properly. So when you put this on, I have a waist point right here, and this is where there's a bit of an umbilical hernia, so I like to kind of push that back in. So I start with that. Then I put it around my hips, and I just put it on. So from here, what this does is it's pulling me in this way, and it's reminding me immediately I have to stand up taller. Immediately I have to pull in my abs and then move around that way. So then I can walk around, I can go running, I can pick up the kids, and it doesn't even really let you kind of hunch down and pick up as much. I have to kind of squat down and get them. So this is going to train you in, or help train you in the proper movements throughout the day, so you're not going to have so much trouble remembering, because it's difficult to think about this while you have kids. So this is the wrap that I have had for quite some time now. It works well for me. There's a ton of different kinds of wraps. So this one was, $13 on Amazon, and I like it and it works. It's a little warm in terms of breathability. So if you get hot and sweaty easy, this one might not be the best one for you, but it's worked really well for me. And there's a lot out there. There's expensive ones, there's affordable ones, and this is just the one that worked well for me. So I highly recommend grabbing one of these and then using them throughout the day so that you can really practice posture and standing up tall. From there, you can really strengthen your abs, which will help prevent you with injury and things like that by doing a program like mine, the Ab Rehab, where we work on pelvic floor contraction and releasing, which is very important as well. And then also your nutrition is going to be key to getting rid of the fat that is on top of those muscles. I hope that helps.